Why is fatigue among your biggest enemies in life to succeed? A lot of people don't pay attention to that, and it completely destroys a man if he does not pay attention to his fatigue levels. And this video, it's going to be more about life in general, so not just dating, but I will give you examples where fatigue can sabotage your dating indeed in life. So the thing is, when you're fatigued, you're simply not able to be in the best mental state. And because of that, a lot of things can happen that will negatively impact any outcome that could have turned out positive. So I'll give you 4 points. The first one is, when you're fatigued, you tend to underperform. So it could be at your job. If you're supposed to be focused, if you're supposed to be more alert, well, when you're tired, well, you're not going to be able to perform as well. Same thing with working out. If you're fatigued, you're not going to be able to push the weights that you're supposed to push. You're not going to be able to be as agile, as you're not going to be able to have as much speed. Let's say if you're doing a sport where you have to be like really fast, so you're going to underperform. Now dating, well, same thing. If you're tired, you're not going to be able to be as chill. You're going to maybe be a little bit more jittery, more stressed out for no reason, just because you're fatigued. Because even dating, it takes mental bandwidth. So if you're always tired, well, you cannot date. You need energy to date. And a lot of guys are not aware of that, so you're sabotaging yourself. Now, the second point is the opposite. You will overperform sometimes. Is that because you're tired and now you're like, oh my God, I gotta succeed, you might actually overdo it. So that's where you're gonna fall into that aura of a try hard. So it's like somebody would look at you from far and be like, yo, he's putting too much effort into this. It's not natural. Well, that's because he's tired. So because he's tired, he doesn't know how to pace himself. And I'm talking for everything in life. Like, this is like really general right now. But yeah, you're going to have problems with pacing yourself. You're going to have problem with tempo. Let's say with training, your form is going to be more shit. Same thing on a date. You're going to try to be too funny. You're going to try to maybe be too touchy because you're not in the right state. You're overperforming. So both sides are bad. Underperforming is bad, and overperforming is bad as well. It becomes like you're trying to put on a show, and it's like, just relax, but you can't because you're tired. So that's why you got to make sure you sleep very well, or try to find ways to recover better week after week, or else you're just gonna like dig yourself a huge hole. Number 3, your communication skills drop a lot. Even me, sometimes when I talk with people on the phone and I'm tired, I'll start like slurring my words like a lot. And I'll tell them, yeah, I'm tired. I know it, I'm tired. But I'm aware, at least. A lot of people are not aware. A lot of people, they'll have trouble speaking and they'll just be like, why am I having trouble speaking? Well, it's because you're tired. But you don't realize, you just think like, what the hell? Am I having a bad day? Or, sometimes I'll be talking to a lady, and yeah, the guy's gonna have trouble like putting sentences, like one sentence after the other. And he's gonna be like, what the hell? Is it because she's making me nervous? Yes and no, but why I'm saying yes and no, maybe even if you're at 100%, you'd be nervous. But I'm ready to bet if you had more energy, if you're less tired, you'd probably talk with more confidence to that lady. But because you're tired, you can't handle the communication. It also affects if it's somebody new. If it's somebody you already know, that you've already been comfortable with, yes, you can have a proper conversation with them, even tired. You might even laugh at yourself. But when it's the first time you're talking to somebody new, and let's say you're a little bit self-aware of how you look, yeah, you're gonna fuck up. Me, I'm at a point where even if it's somebody new and I don't know, like my speech is really whack, I'll be like, well, it is what it is. What the fuck do you want? I'm tired. Like, I don't care. Like, I don't care if this like would make the outcome turn out negative. It's like, look, this is the situation I'm in. I accept it. But you have to be at another level for that. But yes, your communication skills will drop a lot when you're fatigued, and that can affect results because let's say it's your job and you have to communicate with a client. It's kind of your duty to make sure that you're there. You cannot blame it on, oh, well, it's because I'm tired. Yes, sometimes shit happens or there's emergencies or unexpected things that can happen. But if it's constantly, I'm always tired, it's like, dude, fix yourself. Find a way to sleep better, but you got to do something about it because clearly it's not working. Now, the last one I'm going to say, and that's what kind of kills men with dating more than ever, it's when you're tired, you become more vulnerable. A lot of people don't realize that, but very often people become, I don't know if you've noticed, but like I've experienced it a lot myself in my life. Either it was me being vulnerable or women being vulnerable to me. It tends to happen at night. You know why? Because at night the day's done. You're tired. You're more weak. So it's easier to slip up, like let's say your interest level. So very often it would happen to me, and it already happened also where I was vulnerable, where it was the night and I'm super tired, and then the needy behavior would come out. When I say needy, it's like you want reassurance or you want to make sure that things are moving forward. And it would be where like I would confess to the lady that I'm really into her and I really like her simply because I was tired. In the beginning of the day, I would have never told her that. Why do you think people rarely confess their feelings in the morning or drink in the middle of the day? It's because at that time they have more energy. So they're like, yo, I don't need to confess that. Or even if they do want to, they're able to resist it more. But when you're tired, oof, that's where we see if you're really mentally strong. And some people as well, what I was going to say is that if on top of being tired, something bad happens in your life, oof, that's where a lot of people spill the beans. That's why it happened to me in the past. Women that would become vulnerable, and it's like, oh, like I had such a bad day and I've been thinking about you, or oh, like all men suck, like you're the only one that like treats me well. Why do you think? It's because bad stuff has happened. Maybe the guys she was trying to see or talk to all made her feel like shit, and then she realizes that, oh, you're the one that was there for her. Why didn't she say that in the middle of the day? And somebody would say like, oh, well, because that's not what people do. No, it's literally because that's when people have more energy. That's why people don't do it in the middle of the day. Or at least someone that's not intentional. Someone that's intentional can have the conversation anytime. It doesn't have to be at night. But you'll notice people, their defenses go down at night. That's why do you think people get booty calls? Like at 2 a.m. I miss you so much. I've been thinking about you. Like, get out of here. You're just tired. Go to sleep. You'll see next day you'll be fine. Now, of course, if you're really someone who took a lot of mental rent, my bad, not mental rent, but yeah, like how do you call that? I forgot what they say for that. You know what I'm trying to say? It's yeah, like when you have to pay rent, so it's like you're taking a lot of space in somebody's mind, So the thing is, unless you're that person who really like they can't get you off their mind, then yes, even the next day they might still cry in their bed and be like, oh, I miss that person or whatever. But that's another story. But it's just to say that very often you as a man, let's say you feel very vulnerable and you're like, oh my God, I want to text her so bad. And I'm talking about a woman that's like, doesn't take you seriously. It's a woman that's literally playing you, that you're chasing, which by the way, you shouldn't be doing. But let's be honest, most of you guys chase. So let me tell you something. If you're able to sleep it off, just go to bed. Do not reach out to her. You're going to see the next day, you're going to be like, oh wow, I can't believe I almost reached out to her. And then when you'll reach my level, you won't even want to reach out to her, even if you're super tired, even if something bad happens, because you already know, like, no, it's bullshit. Your resilience will be so savage, even fatigued, you'll be able to get shit done. But you need to build that resilience first without being tired. If you try right away when you're already weak as a man overall, you try to get stuff done when you're tired, you're just going to fumble yourself over and over. So you cannot allow that. So many guys sabotage themselves. Or even with a connection that's going to be healthy, they confess to the woman because they're afraid to lose her. So now they're like, oh, you know, I really miss you. I want to see you. And then the girl's like, okay, what's this problem? Like, why is he like acting all weird? And it's just you because you were afraid to lose her. And because you're tired, and it exposed that fear of loss. That's what fatigue will do. It will expose men that have fear of loss, because there's nuances. Some men are extremely afraid of losing a woman. These men, even when they're full power, they're pussies. But there's men that it's only when they're tired that, oh, suddenly he becomes fearful of losing the woman. And women have that issue too. Actually, women, it's even worse because they're emotional. So when they're tired, that's when they tend to like be more vulnerable. Don't be surprised if a woman starts flirting with you to a whole other level when she's more tired, and she'll talk like super slow. And in your head, you'll be like, yo, are you drunk? It's like, no, it's because she's tired. So now she's just saying what goes through her mind. She's not holding anything back. And if it's a woman you're dating, let her be. Let her do her thing. It's okay. She's revealing to you certain things. But you as a man, you should be able to stay strong. You don't need to, if you need to reveal anything, go talk to your bro. Go be vulnerable with your bro. Your bro got you. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. If yes, you can like, you can maybe say in the comments things that happened to you when you were fatigued from the points that I said. And don't forget to subscribe, like that you won't miss the future videos. And I'll see you guys very soon. Take care.